kind of switch to this discussion, but before discussion, there is a Goran's previewed, let's say, example of yourself. Can we say this? Yes. You should present yourself from the point of view, let's say, of your childhood, of history, of the Balkan regions, and being a refugee child. Yes. Now you're adult, grown up, and there is another story of refugee in region. So you probably look at this whole phenomena from the private, but also a European perspective. So you are very valuable to us as an example here for our today's debate. Please, Goran.
Thank you.
Hello to everyone. My name is Gordan Vukadin. First of all, take my apologies for these technical issues. I think that it would be easier to bring you the message in my own language. I will try to bring you my version of how did I feel and what did I go through as a refugee in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Today I'm here with my two colleagues, Velibor and Judita, while speaking with Astra Ozola during her visit to Sarajevo. When we visited all the locations reserved for refugees, we came to an idea that Bosnia and Herzegovina should be involved in this project, and that we, through our own experiences, could present to people what did it mean to be a refugee and what are the difficulties that it brought with itself. We were in Estonia and Lithuania, Germany, and now we are again in Riga. During the visit to Croatia, the group has visited not only Croatia but also Bosnia and Herzegovina, and they had a chance to visit and to see all of the wounds that actually war brought to Sarajevo. My experiences through this project made me to bring out the conclusions that war wounds are still present. And actually, this experience brought them back. Through the 20 years that have passed, everything became vivid again. Even though I thought that they were hidden and that I had forgot, passing through these countries, Estonia, Lithuania, Germany, everything was live again. And this feeling is not easy. That part of my life was actually hard, and it wasn't the happy part. But I was young, and I was what is most important with my family. Firstly, I will say something about Bosnia and Herzegovina with 4 million people. From 1992 became an independent state. Until then, it was a part of former Yugoslavia. Unfortunately, the war period was from 1992 to 1995. And in this war killed around 94,000 people, while about 1.8 million fled their homes. The specificity of the war in Bosnia and Herzegovina, I gave few pictures for you to show. 1,000 days of the siege of our capital, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Sarajevo, which is actually the highest number of days in whole Europe for one city to be under the siege. In city of Srebrenica, 8,372 people were killed. The biggest wound, except flooding people, was blast and burning many historic symbols, like Old Bridge in Mostar, which you can see the new one and the old one, and Olympic Hall Zetra, which is in Sarajevo, which was destroyed during the war, totally. The war in Bosnia and Herzegovina was actually specific in the part that several cities were completely surrounded, and you could come only in convoys. So you were actually refugee in your own city. You couldn't go from one part to another without the convoy. You can see the pictures. In the first picture, you can see the child in the convoy, old people in the convoy, and people going out from the surrounding city. But they are not happy. They are actually living to uncertainty. This child is actually leaving his home. And he's going with the enemy army, and he doesn't know actually what is his destiny. There weren't only falling bombs. There was a lot of street fighting, which were actually casualties from the sniper shots. There were signs as danger zone, written in Croatian, actually, is the pictures. So you had city divided in zones, and you were never safe, actually. After leaving the surrounded city, the first destination for the largest number of refugees from Bosnia and Herzegovina was in neighboring countries, Croatia and Serbia. Some of the refugees actually stayed, but most of them actually came there and came back. A little part of people went to the other, actually Baltic countries, Sweden, Norway, and even to Canada and USA. They permanently settled in these countries. The specific situation in Bosnia and Herzegovina was that there was a lot of mixed marriages between Serbs, Croats, and Muslims. So the situation wasn't really easy. Most of those families permanently settled in Canada and United States. Unfortunately, during the war in Bosnia and Herzegovina, as refugees, most of the highly qualified people left and they never came back. And they are coming only as tourists now. To Bosnia and Herzegovina, I must say that I have my own view and my own way as a refugee. This is the most important thing that I wanted to share with you today. As 13-year-old child, in April 1992, I left the city from this building in 1992, and you can see how does it look now after the war. We were back home in the fall of 2001. In this picture you can see the bridge that you should cross to go to the freedom. And around this bridge were soldiers who were shooting to the people. And it wasn't easy. You could only run for your life. You never knew what will happen or will you survive. And the bridge wasn't in a good shape because on this part there was a bomb that exploded in the truck. So even you had soldiers shooting, you had even a problem with the bridge who wasn't in the best shape. From all of this system, we came with only basic things. We also thought that it wouldn't last so long, and I never knew that I wouldn't be back in almost 9 years, not even in my worst nightmares. My first destination was Croatia, Makarska, city of Makarska, where I expected to find peace and everything. But I needed to be a refugee, and I had a refugee treatment even though I am Croatian, and we actually had a house in city of Makarska. We were found in big groups. There was too many of us, so many little children, old people, and we were all really in a crowd. People had trying to help, but you must know that even that part, Croatia was under the war. So even though they were in the war, they were still taking refugees from Bosnia and Herzegovina. After the war, I came back to Sarajevo, where I'm still living today. I want to show you one more thing, Tunnel of Hope. It was created in 1993 during the evening of the siege of Sarajevo. You can see it on the pictures, which was actually down under the airport in 1993. And this was the only way to get out from the Sarajevo. This was the rescue for so many people who went through these hallways to go out from the city. From this map, you can see the map of the city, and around it is a tunnel. And Bosnian Serbs who were attacking the city. You can see the airport, and under it you can see the Tunnel of Hope, which began in this house, and it looked like this. This was the only way to exit the war zone. You can see the measurements here defined. It's 720 meters high and 1.5 meters. Through the tunnel It's exercise transport of food, drinks, weapons, cigarettes of the people, and it was the only way to bring the food in the city. In order for the city to function. The country after the war is not in so much better shape. You can still feel the division between the people. Actually, the country is divided into two parts. One part is Republic of Serbia, and the other part is Federation of Bosnia and Herzegovina, where mainly lives Muslim population and Croatian population in Herzegovina. When we were in Estonia, we also saw different nationalities in one school. In Bosnia and Herzegovina, you have two schools under one roof with two different programs, and that is the worst thing that could happen in our country after the war. So you are not bringing the children together, but dividing them from the school and then after. Many of the people, very few, actually have returned to their homes, mainly the older people, and the majority of refugees in Beja just stayed. For the end, pictures speak more than words. So you can see the pictures, actually 4 pictures, then and now. And how everything is irrelevant. You can see the pictures from the war and how the building looks now. So everything that is brought down actually is renewed, but there are no people. And the war had left the wounds that you can't recover by night. In Hotel Holiday Inn from 1994, Sarajevo had tradition of Olympic Games, and you can't really believe how everything was ruined during the war. So I had a privilege to speak the last at this conference. So in Bosnia we say that we use it in these occasions. And these are the last words on this project. To sum everything in one, that is in English, that it never happens again to anyone.
Thank you, Gordan. Nevertheless, you showed us, let's say, reality that happened in this continent, that we are...
Paldies, Gordan. Šī ir realitāte, ko mums vajadzētu paturēt prātā, un bieži vien mēs meklējam kaut kādus tālus modeļus, bet būtībā risinājumi bieži vien ir mūsu pašu pieredzē. Un jā, šī pieredze nemaz nav tik sena. Labi, tagad es aicinu ierasties šeit pie šī galda, apaļā galda diskusijas runātājus, Astru Ozolu, arī Veroniku Nuteri, Imantu Lipski, kurš vēl netika pieteikts, bet viņš strādā Latvijas labklājības
Labor Market Politics Department, so he's the one who knows these hard decisions to make on the subject. Agnes Lāce is a very prominent...
Viņš zina, cik grūti lēmumi ir pieņemami. Tāpat Agnese Lāce, viņa ir nesen atgriezusies no studijām Āzijā, arī Turcijā. Tālāk Egle. Mēs jau dzirdējām šodien Egli, viņa arī ir svarīga runātāja. Viņa